Hello and welcome to the NextWaveDV Gear review. I'm your host Tony Reale, and today we're going to be looking at the FS700 rig from Zacuto. Now, when we transitioned from being a primarily DSLR shooting studio to the FS700, there were a few things that we had to deal with. Of course, the FS700 being a slightly larger camera required its own setup, and some of the rigs that we had for our DSLRs, not all of them would work with the FS700. And of course, getting a setup that's optimized for your new camera is always a good thing. Zacuto is great for basically creating camera rigs that are very, very optimized for a specific camera. So when we got the Zacuto rig in, we were really excited to see how it worked directly with the FS700. First off, it comes with the mini baseplate setup that attaches directly to the camera. What's nice about this is it's a super low profile. It's something that you could easily leave on the camera if your case allowed it. Unfortunately for me, I have the Pelican 1510 case, which does not have any extra room for it. Pretty much the camera body fits in there perfectly, and I don't have any extra room for that. So what I would prefer is some sort of a quick release setup. This baseplate doesn't have it, but Zacuto does have quick release setups with some of their other rigs. You just would have to basically add that onto it later. But if you want a low profile setup, you can easily just attach that directly to your camera. The one downside in that is that the screw threads are kind of buried inside the baseplate. So it isn't something you can quickly just grab a screwdriver, go up in there. You got to have like the right size screwdriver and stuff like that. So it slows down the process of taking out the baseplate a little bit, not that much though. The baseplate is nice and solid, very, very heavy duty. You've got great rods that are attached with the Zacuto setup. They're threaded rods, so you can basically add or remove as much length as you need. And instead of carrying on a whole mess of rod lengths, you can basically just carry on additional extensions and attach those when you need them. One thing I like about Zacuto rods is they have a certain matte finish. So when you have something that's attaching to your camera system with only a single rod attachment, say like a follow focus, the matte finish is just gonna be really nice and you don't have to worry about it slipping or rocking away from your lens. So a great addition to have on there. Of course, it's all steel, very, very heavy duty, but of course very lightweight because they are hollowed in the center. The FS700 grip relocator is pretty much a necessity for anyone that's an FS700 shooter. The RE rosette that's built into the handle makes it really, really easy to attach here, screw on tight, and not have to worry about it going anywhere. You can position at any angle, so whatever you're needing it to be at, whether it's high, low, whatever is comfortable for you as a shooter, you can easily do that at that point. Now, one of the things I really love about the Zacuto setup is their ratcheting screws. I've seen ratcheting screws before. I've seen them break. I've seen them fall apart. These are the beefiest ratcheting screws I've ever seen. So if you need to keep the attachment from hitting your camera, or if you've got things that are stacked really close together and it would be in the way, you can easily reposition it to whatever position you want. And you really don't have to worry about this thing breaking because it is just beefy as heck. Of course, you couldn't call it a full camera rig setup without a shoulder support option. And the Zacuto one is actually very, very comfortable. It's got a large foam support, which would be comfortable for any type of shoulder that you might have. And of course, it's going to be a long day of shooting if you're using this ENG style for a long period of time. So you want to have some form of comfort. Another thing that's nice about it is you can put it on your rails and you can slide it back and forth. So say you pop on a matte box or you switch lenses and now your balance is slightly off, you can just easily slide that back and forth. Of course, this means that if you're tilting down or tilting up, it has a tendency to slide and there's no way to lock that down. So there's an advantage and a disadvantage to that. The Zacuto weight is just really, really amazing. It's beefy. It's a really nice size to it, so it doesn't get in the way. It's not clunky. It's small, so like I said, it's not going to stick out and get in your way, but it is very heavy for the size that it is. So you slap it on the back, and now you've got a very well balanced shoulder rig that's not too large either. So the big question that always comes up whenever somebody's shopping around for Zacuto gear is it worth the money? There are a lot of camera rigs out there. There's some that are a lot cheaper. There's some that are even more expensive than Zacuto. The truth is, after working with Zacuto rigs and testing it out, you can be really confident in knowing that it is one of the highest quality setups out there. They're committed to making a very high quality camera rig. And the truth is, if you're going to be doing a lot of shooting with this, if you're going to be putting it through its paces, if you're going to be potentially beating up your camera for your job, you want a rig that's actually going to be there for you. You want something that's not going to fall apart. And I have worked with a lot of different rigs that slowly over time start falling apart. Something starts not working with the thread breaks, the screw attachment breaks, the rod isn't as strong as it used to be, or it's not as tight, and it's, things start slipping away. The truth is Zacuto rigs are designed to last a lifetime, and that is reflected in their guarantee. You do pay for it, but the confidence you can have is that when you buy it, you're paying for something that is going to work for long term. So not everybody's going to have the budget for something like this, but the truth is if you really want the best for your camera, Zacuto should be on your shopping list and something you should consider. So we definitely give a big thumbs up to this rig. It's going to be something that we're going to be using a long time. We're really excited to have it as a part of our gear.
Want more NextWaveDV in your life? Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube to be notified when the next episode airs. Visit our website for daily posts on the latest digital video news. Like us on Facebook to join the NextWaveDV community. And follow us on Twitter for behind-the-scenes news and pictures.